everybody. Hopefully my friend Krishna will join. Um, oh, good stuff. Hello,
Yeah, good
Krishna.
morning. Hello.
Is it Namaste or so? So,
Pardon?
uh, so how do you say hello in your? How do you say hello in your? What is your main language, if I may ask?
Okay. So it's Namaste.
Oh, Namaste, Krishna ji.
Yeah. It's one of the Dravidian language. The whole
Yeah.
South India calls it Namaste. Or Namaskar.
Oh,
Namaskar is a general
Namaskar.
one from Sanskrit.
Oh, good. I tried to learn Hindi, but I don't practice it often, so I switched to Portuguese at the moment. So, yeah, thank you for joining. Let me see how this can be. So, tell me, why are you interested in open source? Because I was quite impressed by your resume. Actually, it's good.
Okay. Um,
Yeah.
so I wanted to learn something new, which I haven't done. So
Mm-hmm.
generally, the open source, whatever we see, I mean, I have used many open source products which are
Mm-hmm.
uh, not in the current market or which are like a different version of existing products which may be a proprietary or something. So some part of features of that proprietary tools are being open sourced and the offering for free. So I just wanted to understand how this works and how quickly they are able to build it. So
But what is your end goal? So let's say you understood how some product works, and what happened? How will it change your world?
uh,
What is the end goal? Because you see, an open source in order to create open source, you all you have to do is to apply a license, and that's it. Then you can have one text file, add a dot there, a day, and you're open source contributor. So that probably won't is not
okay,
what you are looking for.
basically my end goal is to understand how we build an application and what I learn out of it. That's all I
Oh,
want.
that's good. Yeah, we can start with that. But so I have answers for that. But the next question will be: so okay, so you understand how the application works. Uh, so what happens next? So is it, for example, to find like to get better at your job, or to find a new job, or to help to teach some kids in your community how to do stuff with IT, or to debug better? So what's why do you want to know how the products are built, or is it to build your own products?
Uh, I think I missed something. Could you please?
Yes. So yeah, basically, let's say because I'm looking like next few steps in the future. So
Mm,
let's say, for example, you're currently a senior software engineer and you use
yeah.
Spring Boot. Spring
Yes.
Boot is open source.
Yeah.
So let's say we go there and you learn how to build it. And so what? How does it help you? Or do you want to become a part of, let's say, Spring Boot community, for example?
Hmm.
Oh, okay. So, uh,
Okay. So until before Spring Boot, no one knows
mhm,
what is Spring Boot, and no one used it, right? And no one
mhm.
could have imagined that somebody can build a Spring Boot. So that thought, I would like to understand how the thought has come and how they implemented. So this process I would like to know because uh, there may be so many ideas in our mind keep on coming up, but
Oh,
nothing comes out of it. Sometimes if even if we
um,
do something, I don't know how it can go to people and how they react to it.
so
So
you
yeah,
want, so you're trying to understand. That's actually quite interesting. It's the first time I hear that. You're quite unique. It's a good thing. You're trying to see how we get from an idea to an open source product.
exactly.
So what I would suggest is that there's this thing. unfortunately, I already know the answer because I have a friend there. So there's something called, for example, Apache Incubator.
Okay.
So that's where Apache helps to start the products. And for example, if we go for, I'll just use the other screen and I'll then show Merico. I think this one's. How good is your Golang? Because I think one second. What was the Merico's? So there's this company, for example, they're called Merico, and they. Hello. I think I disappeared for a second, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry. I will show it again. So there's this company called Merico. So they are they're a startup in San Francisco. So they this.
One second. I'll just connect from my laptop if you don't mind,
I
because
see. Yeah,
the font
sure, of
size is
course.
small. Okay.
I will also I'll also put the link to Merico in chat, and I will also put a link to Incubator Apache in chat, and I will put a link to. So they will be in the YouTube chat and the they will be in. They will be in LinkedIn chat and stuff. So what I suggest you do, but so what's such? I think the best thing for you will be to actually join the Dev Lake, say hello to Maxim there. The community is amazing. That's exactly what you need, because it's not just the product. The product is cool, but you might be not into Golang, for example. But they invite people for talks, and the last time one of the times I've been there, they invited the guy who created this on Apple. On Apple they use this. I think it's Brew or something to install stuff on MacBooks. On all of them, let me check. Is it Brew or not?
Brew, yeah, BREW.
Yeah. So they invited this Max Howell to the event, and it was like a very small event. It was this guy there, the legend, and maybe like 15 people watching and asking questions. So that's the level of connections it will this community can give you. So I suggest you start with them and ask more questions, because this is really cool stuff. And you can also just start with them. If you go to this let me see, medical thing, I'll just switch this one. So if you go to Lake here, it says that this one that actually migrated, because what had happened, they were developing this
I
project.
couldn't see your screen. It's just showing only the GitHub page.
Yeah, so that's the most important. So that's GitHub of Merico Dev. I'll just sorry, there's antivirus on my machine. So that's from here you can see that they created something called Dev Lake.
Okay.
So this project became Dev Lake, which was moved to Apache Incubator. So what you could do, you could actually research what is Apache Incubator as such. Like Apache Incubator, and maybe write an article about it or a post with stuff, because that's where Apache supports the projects when they start, before they become like Apache Spark or something. So that's the stage you actually want incubator.
Okay.
So how do you get an idea to incubator? How do you get sponsors and stuff? And then they became this thing. So that's the dev lake as such. I think that from what I remember, this tool is used to build platforms. They have a list here how to contribute. For example, I would suggest just joining them and then build it locally. For example, you can build it locally and you can deploy it to your local Docker for fun. But from what you said, I hear this entrepreneurial spirit. So probably the best thing will be actually to join them and ask how you can help and tell them what you are learning about, like this part, and maybe you can. Maxim from America, he'll probably tell you better how exactly, because he's such a cool entrepreneur. Let me see if he's so I think the team is mostly from Hong Kong and San Francisco. So that's the Maxim. He's is it it should be showing. 1 second. 1 second, it's not showing. So that's the guy behind it, one of them.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's why I lost it, because I used. So that's the team of Apache DevLake. And if you become a contributor, then you will get like a big contributor. Then you'll get Apache email and stuff like that, from what I remember.
Okay.
I might be wrong, but I think that's the deal. So yeah, and let's see. I think they have how to contribute here somewhere. They had it on GitHub project, but so yeah, this is the one. It would be really nice if you investigate how Apache incubator works. And because there's DevLake, you will find, you can then check which other projects are in incubator, and but they must be active, because I would assume that there are more projects in incubator than there are active projects in incubator. Maybe there are some stale, you don't want them, but find 3 projects which are active like this one and just interview them. I'm quite sure that if you go and speak to, if you learn about the product a bit, if you become like participant, then Maxim would love to be interviewed and to answer your questions.
Okay.
And speak about his product, because he's such a cool open guy. He's like he loves to share and loves to speak about his ideas and about the community as well, and he knows so many cool people. It's amazing. So yeah, does it help?
Yes, Nikita.
Yes. So yeah, and also this our open source friends, you've got the invite to Discord, right? So we do events like tomorrow. We'll be having at 1 hour later, actually, on 8 o'clock British time, London time. But normally, what we do, we just come there and we speak how our week went and what our plans are for the next week. And you don't have to be. I know you're a senior, but like juniors are welcome, and we just share. So if you decide to pop in and tell us how your research on what Apache incubator is, then it'd be nice. And I can see in your eyes that it might end with one more open source project, like an idea getting to incubator. That would be really cool. I was just speaking to people today. This one, Scout Flow. So this one, it's not advertising. They're not paying me for that. Oh, hi, Misha Pakban, Miss Babakban. Sorry, I know this avatar, quite an active person. So Scout Flow, they created a marketplace for commercial open source products. Let me see. Sorry. So basically, they found. Actually, 1 second. I've got a link in Twitter. I'll just share them because they have a story. 1 second. Origin story. I'll put it here, and I'll put it here. So oh, that's Telegram. Sorry. Yeah, this one. This one. So they were inspired by two open source products, and they actually spoke to the people who created the products, and then they created this thing. And then they created this thing because what they found is that it's a bit hard to find commercial product which is commercial open source product. So there are many commercial products, but it's sometimes a solution exists, but you don't know if you can get something for free. So yeah. So they created something where you can type in a video and you can find that they exist open video. It has 1,500 stars and so on. So this is a quite a fresh startup thing, and they might be also of interest to you. And I was just looking at them today. So currently they only enlist commercial open source products, but they plan to expand. So that's another direction to look at. But I would still start with Merico just because they're on a later stage, and it will be easier for you, maybe more comfortable to connect somebody who is like already in Apache Incubator and who are already on. But Scoutflow is also interesting because they actually spoke to a lot of interesting people, and I think in their story, I think they mentioned people they spoke to, and I was quite impressed. I think people quite high in Tesla were there. Yeah. So here they have a list of people they spoke to, and they were creating. They were creating their open source project, and they're speaking, for example, for people from Tesla, from
Excellent.
House. Yeah. So like it's cool. So you might want to interview them as well. So probably I would suggest start getting into communities to interview people who already did it. I didn't. They did. So they know how stuff. So yeah, I hope that helps.
Yes. So, will they be free to talk to us? And I will never try to reach out to any person. You are the first person I have reached out to.
So Merico is, to be honest, Scoutflow, they're quite open. I've spoken to, one second, this nice person. I'll send you his details if I go. I think it's him. Yeah. So Atharva Bondre, this guy. He's good. I'll add his Twitter handle. I'll add the chat. So he's very open, and he really likes talking about the product, and they need visibility as well. So you can talk to him about. I mean, I know he's open to talking about his product, and what we can even do, we could organize. If you agree on time with him, we can organize a session on Restream or on his platform, and just talk and put it on YouTube or write an article about it. Just interview him because it's quite a cool product as I see it, and it would be nice to know how they got an idea and why they did it and what is their goal. Because what is the end goal? And Merico just joined the community because here. Sorry, it's a different page. So because I only share a tab. So if you go to devlakeapache.org and /community, or you click this button, and there's this how can I contribute, and then somewhere here it explains how to
Contribute.
probably this one. I think.
No, how to contribute? There is some column.
Yeah, so there are different ways to contribute, because contribution can be a code and click here for digitals. Yeah, so you can contribute as code. So obviously you can go to this thing. 1 second. If I go to the yeah, this one, for example, go straight to the project itself. So it has issues, of course. That's one of the things. But I would probably even start with just let me see, because normally I just install stuff locally. So I install it. I read about the project. Then I go to LinkedIn and tweet and I write what I understood. That will be your first. Like even today, you can already go to Twitter and LinkedIn and write that you learned from me about Devil Lake and you learned about Scout Flow. And then you tag the companies. You find the Medico, you tag them. You find the Scout Flow, you tag them. So they're aware that you started posting. And then, for example, like you might want to decide like to check how to set it up locally. And so they actually describe here how to contribute. So mailing list is good because that's I think that's where they share. I think they also have either it was Discord or it was Slack. I don't remember which one they used because they changed it.
Okay.
But then you become there and then you will see all those cool talks. And I think they do discussions, like team meets every week in different time zones because they're Hong Kong and San Francisco. So I think they shift times for meetings. 1 week is, so it will be actually useful for you because well, because you live in the third time zone. So at least you have a choice. And then you'll be aware of the events, and then you'll actually meet the people and you can actually talk to them, ask how you can help, ask them about their product, why it was created, how they got an idea. No, I haven't heard anybody asking Maxim this thing, how they got an idea and how they made the first steps. And I know it's not an easy thing to bring. Actually, he's the only person I know who brought his open source project to Apache Incubator. And this is really cool. So yeah, and you see they even mentioned this, write a blog. So when you start build, if you decide to deploy it locally, to build it and deploy locally, and you document it and write an article, you'll actually it's actually contribution. And for example, if you go to Dev.to, that's how I met them, because 1 second, I'll just log in, because I written an article on Dev.to, and Maxim contacted me because he's everywhere. And I think probably it was my DevOps article. So I wrote an article on Dev.to about a DevOps conference, and Maxim commented, and because I was looking for open source, and he came to help, and he was amazing as always. So yeah, that's how you get friends both in Hong Kong and San Francisco. That's the best thing you can do, is building bridges. And I would really love to see how it goes, because we really need entrepreneurs. That's the best. That's one of the best contributions you can do. There's even less people who can do things like this one, make an open source project successful and move it to the next step. So there are not that many developers in the world, if we don't count ChatGPT, and but there's even less entrepreneurs who can take an idea and to make it commercially beneficial. So, for example, a lot of products, they're using this idea now. For example, if you go to test containers, this one. So yeah, for example, this project, right? They are. I don't know, maybe you've seen them, but basically they allow you to inject like Postgres Docker containers right in your unit tests in Java.
Yeah,
So
I
you
have.
can so they are cool, but this is an open source. But from this one, which they created, Atomic Jar appeared, and Atomic Jar is commercial open source. So and they got like 20 millions funding and stuff like that, and they're good. So that's another one. So that's like, so Merrico is the one who made it to Apache Dev Lake, and this is a different story. It's also a success. They both are success. So that's you might be interested in checking Atomic Jar as well, because and I know the people behind some of them. So if you go on LinkedIn to their page, you probably will see the connections between them and me. So if you need an introduction or you want to build it, then you're welcome. And
Yeah,
they
sure.
also have a nice community. So yeah, so now you have 3 ideas. So it's this one, Atomic Jar, it's Scout Flow, and it's Merrico / Dev Lake Apache Incubator. I think that's enough for a week of research.
Yes,
Good.
I'll just go through it,
Yeah.
and we'll see where I can fit myself into this.
Yeah, just do it, because you never know until you try. It's like I
Yeah.
didn't know I'll be doing this stuff. My idea was that I want to get better with Java, and then at some point I understood that I know how to get better with Java, but then I can invest time and get a very highly pay, like Java, whatever, Ninja, whatever they call. But I realized that a lot of people around the world don't have access to this knowledge, and they don't have access to, even many don't have access to education, like universities and stuff. Like, for example, in India, where are you located, if I may ask?
Currently at Coventry.
Oh, Coventry. So you are in UK.
Yeah.
Good. Well, okay, let's use a UK example then. For example, in UK, we have Oxford. I'm not sure if it's as good as IIT, but still, it's a good university. But not everybody can go to Oxford because it's well, expensive. And because you are in, actually, you came to I didn't know. Next time I will ask where, because sorry, it's I shouldn't have assumed anything. Because most of my open source friends, they're from India and Central Africa and Pakistan, so they are located there. But let me share something with you quickly, because you came to the right place, Krishna. There's a meetup called Open UK. I'm not sure if you're aware of this one.
Yes, meetup 24 May.
So there's an organization called Open UK, and because in UK we have a huge percentage of people contributing to open source. So what I said before, those 3 projects, they're the priority for you, I would say. But you might want to become part of Open UK. They have a newsletter here, I think, and they also have meetups around the whole country, not just London.
Okay.
So if you are not commutable to London, there are more meetups. There's let me see. There's one in Cardiff, Yorkshire, Scotland, and Bristol. And let me quickly Google where it's Coventry, because I don't. Let me check. What is how far are you? Coventry. Oh, okay. So what will be the closest one? So also they support opening meetups, Open UK meetups. So if there's no Open UK meetup next to you, then you can talk to Amanda, and from I don't know where you can maybe even in the meetups you can just join meetup and ask them. But if there isn't local Open UK chapter near you and you would like to launch one, does it show it? It should be showing. 1 second, I will show again. There's some bug. So on this page, it shows that if there is no local or Open UK meetup chapter near you, you can create one. They will help. It won't be just you creating it. And the thing with Open UK, it's like they don't speak about individual contributions in terms of code. You won't see commits there. They speak on a level above, like on strategic level. The person who created it, Amanda Brock, let me see, do they have, they probably have about here or something. I'm not very good with this website. Let me see. Yeah, so that's Amanda Brock. So she created, she was one of the people behind Canonical. She worked as a lawyer there for 6 years. So Ubuntu and stuff. And then she created this thing, and we run meetups monthly in London. I'm not sure about other places. And we run an open source conference in London every year. Last time it was, I think, February for 2 days.
Okay.
And the person opening it was the Wikipedia creator. And he was talking about the problems Wikipedia experiencing is like arbitrage things and how to make sure that the data which is there is correct and that people are not, not suppressed, that there's still free will, and like the balance between free will and making sure that information is correct. So so this one be of I would say it's a community to join, and where you could share your how it goes with Merico and how it goes with Scoutflow and how it goes with Atomic Jar. This is a very good space to speak because, for example, I actually made a talk there on, I think it was Wednesday this week. And so I was talking about career and open source application. It was interesting. I can give it this talk online again, but the person who was speaking before me, she's in, actually we can check it here 1 second. Yeah. So that it was this event. And sometimes they're hybrid, but not all of them, I think. Hybrid means it's on Microsoft Teams or something like this. So the speaker before me was Don Foster, Director of Open Source Community Strategy at VMware. And next time we will have a special event. 1 second. I'm not sure if it's declared already. Yeah, it's there. So this one, I think you might have Kunal there. Yeah, so on 22nd of June, we'll have Kunal Kushwaha. Do you know him? I mean, he's like, Kunal Kushwaha is it's an amazing success story. And when he was in college in India, he realized how much he started using open source for like everything. And he created a YouTube channel with 400,000 subscribers. And he's very big on Twitter as well. I think over 100,000 of subscribers easily. And he works in Civo in UK. So he moved. So yeah, 179,000. And he works in Civo Cloud, DevRel manager there. Quite a career, very fast. He speaks at conferences. So I would, if you can make it to this event, that would be really good, because he definitely knows, and you can ask questions there. And he's quite approachable online, but he's obviously very busy, because when you have 200,000 just on Twitter, and then but this way, if you get there, you can ask him questions directly. It's
it's really very difficult for me to ask the questions in front of everyone. So
I will help. I'll be there. So we can ask together. So it will be Thursday. So yeah. So because you are a bit distant, you might need to think of how to commute.
How far it is?
It's in London, in central London. Not far from St. Paul.
I can make it. It's not difficult.
Yeah. So this will be great. I think you really should be. So the stuff I was talking to you, it was more most like tactical and like next thing to do, and this one is more like a strategic, and they will help you to. It's really nice to know these people because Sivo is also quite young thing, and they just created their open source project. I was actually looking at it today. I didn't understand much, but let me see. Oh, 1 second. I was looking at 4 o'clock before basically I woke up at 4 o'clock and I was like, okay, let me take a look at open source project. 1 second, I'll get you a link. So that's no, not this one. That's Sivo created something called Open Control Plane, but I don't know much about this project yet, so I cannot really tell much. But the company behind it, it's really good. Okay, does it help? So Krishna, any questions? I know it's a lot of information. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have opened the links in another tab so that I cannot miss anything. I'll go through. See, I'm just like a newborn baby in this open source. So definitely I need to process a lot of information to at least match.
Newborn is contributor, not as you used it a lot, so you know more than most of the people in the world. So
maybe I know, but I don't know how to put my expertise to help others. So that's more important.
Yeah, we'll find it. And you'll find it. And I suggest when you take these links, obviously check that they're valid and everything, and then just write a small LinkedIn article. Then you won't lose them, and maybe tweet as well, like link and dash what it's about, and then a few hashtags with like open source and I don't know. Open source community, and with ads, things like Merico. Maybe like you can even on Twitter, you can make them separate. On LinkedIn as well, actually, just write about each of them. So, for example, if you write about Merico, mention Merico, and then Apache and hashtags and stuff like that, because you are just starting, but there are hundreds of thousands of people who are like 2 years away from what you are doing now. And if they see you now, you will save them 1 year or maybe 2 years. They will just start doing this stuff earlier, and it will help them. And the idea of looking at this from entrepreneurial, I think it's next to being genius. It's like, wow, I'm impressed. Like really, it's the best question I had. I have good friends. They ask good questions, but this question I haven't heard yet.
Thank you very much. But still, yeah, I probably asking you more and more help surely, because
good.
I don't know even how to write a post. To write a single line, I think a lot. So that's
fine. Just they just think is that you go to Twitter and you can take a screenshot right now, and I can, for example, what I can do. And I'll get a better picture. So I will. So let's write the first post together. Are you on Twitter?
Yes. I don't remember the ID.
Oh. Maybe if I go. So do you recognize yourself here? There's a lot of nice people called Krishna Tota.
I couldn't see a screen.
Oh, sorry. That's because it's a very good habit, actually. Yeah, you cannot see my screen, but it's better to share a tab than to share a screen. So.
Oh my God, there are so many.
Yeah. What we can, yeah.
I'll just try to log in into my account.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the
What we
thing.
can do right now, I'll show you. So, how? Let's write a post together. How does an idea transform into a successful commercial open source product? Into a successful open source. And that will make a hashtag.
I think it's my ID is Krishna_T2007.
2
007.
this.
It's a quite old pic. I'm
Oh,
about that. But you can.
one second. I will. I'll just save this text and then we can search for. Oh, is it you?
Yeah.
Nice,
We cannot
nice, nice,
relate.
nice. Good stuff. Good stuff. I had 8 followers in May 2022.
Okay.
So yeah, it was quite a growth. And I'm not very active on Twitter. Basically, the thing with Twitter is that if I cannot really mentor people one-on-one. The reason we are talking is because we are sharing. Because you're a nice person with a nice idea, but if I only talk to you and we don't share, then community doesn't benefit. And I want to share your idea with the whole world. So we had a really nice discussion. Just like sometimes it should be E. No. Self and myself and discussed this topic in our stream today. We spoke about miracle of making it into and the flake making it into Apache. Okay, so now, so we have open source here and Apache. Now we will do one thing. Sorry, no, that's the wrong one. Oh, because this. Sorry, sometimes this thing. This one now it becomes the last used. Okay, probably a bug. Now we also discussed. Okay, we'll go this one. We'll actually go here. Discuss other cool open source OSS projects. Okay, so now I go here. What was it? Scout. And the amazing platform for finding commercial open source projects. Okay, we discussed there was we discussed the amazing story of now. Is it the one? I think that's the one. I'll just quickly check because there's account which is called Not a Real Kunal because people are making jokes and stuff. Yeah, he's the one. And SEO, which has recently created. 1 second, open control. Okay. Yeah. So open control. It's not there yet. Open control pane. Open source project. And this thing, because I'm myself, I'm autistic. It was very hard for me to start speaking, like really, like the way I'm speaking to you now. It's a year of like I started tweeting, then and LinkedIn and some articles, and then I started listening to people in calls, and then I started speaking myself and asking questions, something like this. It's much easier when you do it like online first. And last but least, we discussed amazing story of Open UK, which connects the open source communities in the UK and far beyond. So now let's mention people. So they know where that stuff, because I know that Mark. I think it's a Mark Boost. 1 second. Yeah, it is Mark Boost. So because here it's this one. Okay. Open UK is let's have a link because it creates the like nice image there, and Scout Flow as well. Scout Flow, and you see I'm not even using any plugins for this stuff, so so you can do it yourself. Although plugins there are some nice plugins which make it editing. And Apache Lake. Okay. Oh, that won't fit, but yeah, that will. I still want to add the Apache Dev Lake somehow. Yeah, I think it's good, and now it should be. I would rather do this. I think this one should be more about us than about me. And now we are free to go. And congratulations! Now you're an open source contributor officially, because marketing is a big part of open source. Like we were asking. I think, we were asking this amazing person from VMware. I think her name is Dawn Foster. This one.
Mm-hmm.
On the Wednesday event with Open UK. So somebody asked her, "Is the legal services? Can legal services be considered an open source contribution?" And she said, "Yeah. If, for example, if you have a startup in open source, and obviously you need legal services because you need to choose a license correctly and stuff. And if some company steps in and they pay for your legal fees, so you can have good lawyers and stuff, then they are open source contributor, because without their help, your project will fail. Because you need to be careful with licenses and stuff, and it's important. So any kind of help, like marketing, coding, testing, writing articles, maintaining projects, it's all open source contribution, and you just did your first one. So the hardest step is done. Now your next step is to retweet so you'll get this bell regarding my tweet. You have this button here, you click this one, and when you retweet, yeah, that's fine. When you retweet with your comments, like what you liked, what you didn't like, and add some hashtags like open source and commercial or open source and entrepreneur, and then that's how your story began. Congrats, well done for Friday.
Yeah, thank you. I'll see how I can do that.
Yeah. Twitter. You don't need to. It really helps you to speak to people when you're like while you're in your shell, so you're protected. And if somebody is difficult, let me know. But I haven't seen many difficult people on Twitter. Maybe 2 in a year. And I have a trick. I just ask them. I just tell them, "Thank you for your opinion. Next time I'll do better." And then I stop speaking to the person. But yeah, that's my trick. And sometimes negative comments are quite good because, for example, that's how I started using Canva, this thing. So it's really good to create things like, thumbnails for YouTube things. But it started because somebody told me that my Twitter header is rubbish, which it is again. Oh, sorry, I'm not sharing. So this one. So I started using this one because somebody criticized my Twitter header, and I said that I don't have like a month to learn Photoshop, and the person said, no, you don't need Photoshop. There's this web service which does everything so nicely, and so it's not every negative comment is bad. Sometimes they're good. Just need to be careful so you don't miss the good ones. Okay. Any last minute questions?
I think I'm good.
Good. I'm really happy to have you here. And you see, this way, I would rather help this way, like for 15 minutes, one person, than I would help somebody like for 15 minutes, one-on-one, because the quality is higher. And also, I will definitely come because the stream is scheduled.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Have a nice Friday and enjoy the long weekend.
Yeah, my weekend is about to end by tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. But still, you're in Coventry. That's a good place to be.
Yeah.
Good. Enjoy the sunny weather for a change.
Yes.
Well,
I am part of NGO, so probably today I have a couple of things to do with them. Anyway, I'm utilizing my weekend.
okay, cool. Nice to meet you. And by the way, when I click end stream, the stream will only finish on YouTube and so on, but we can still speak. So